over the years, I've really respected this Oakland organization. I've said that before. I never really wanted to leave. I was traded in the middle of the night. I was raised here by the people in the black hole. I had a son here. And when Mark Davis called me and asked me if I would come back, I was ready to roll.
Speaking of comebacks, tonight in Houston, after missing the last 7 games with a strained hamstring, the Beard will be back for the Rockets against the T-Wolves, and the Celtics and Sixers will square off again in Boston. Get in your zone with great value offers and free services that help your vehicle deliver its best performance. AutoZone has everything to get you what you need. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Jeff Biggs. This is NBC Sports Radio.
Well, how about that? They may not be the team of Southwest Virginia, according to some of the Facebook maps. They may not be the team of Johnson County, Carter County, or Unicoi County. But the Tennessee Titans are, for as long as Marcus Mariota plays for them, the team of Hawaii. I once tried to get a job at a newspaper in Hawaii. I really want Hilo, Hawaii. Now, there's no sports going on in Hilo, Hawaii. Their Super Bowl is that basketball tournament, the college basketball tournament that they bring in, every November, this sort of thing. But the thing is, they pay very well there. Oh, the cost of living is more expensive, Marky. Hey, I looked at this. Trust me, it's you're better compensated, and making more money is always a good thing. Anyway, I am Marky Billson, your voice of choice for a new generation Tri-City sports fans. The name of the program is Tri-City Sports Now on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. We own the Tri-Cities because, quite frankly, we have the best guests and the hardest-hitting opinions. Best guest today will be Mark Malone of Under Center with Mark Malone. He's coming on 1 p.m., talking a little bit about the NFL playoffs. NFC Championship game, AFC Championship game. He's played in one of them. Alex Doherty on theforecheck.com. He will continue after that, or he will come on after Mark Malone, talk a little bit about the Predators' great victory against Las Vegas, or I guess it's just Vegas, the Golden Knights. And that occurred the 1-0 game with the backup goalie putting forth 43 saves. In a few minutes, I'm going to talk about ETSU playing Furman for first place in the Southern Conference, but that's where I'd like to begin with Marky's monologue today. You don't hear about it so much now, but it used to be there was a saying that Nashville thought that Tennessee stopped at Knoxville. The Tri-Cities didn't get any attention whatsoever. I haven't heard that in a while. May still be true, but I haven't heard it in a while. But it is one thing for people in other parts of the world to ignore the Tri-Cities. Let's face it. We're isolated. We really are. Not everybody likes stock car racing, and frankly, Ernie Ford hasn't been relevant for quite some time. But it is another for the citizens of the Tri-Cities to ignore the Tri-Cities. And recently, where I'm going with this, recently I'm on the internet, see a discussion of ETSU football. It concerns coaching hires. But instead of the inevitable, support and criticism, you'll see, good hire Randy Sanders. Geez, I don't know Randy Sanders. What about this staff he's putting together? What do you think? Good and bad, That's natural. You'll see that on such a thread. There was one post, and you always get one in every group. I understand that. But it was basically, who cares? Why do I want to watch ETSU when Tennessee is 100 miles to the south of us? Now, the Vols play unquestionably at a higher level than the Buccaneers do. I get that. They're more glamorous. Till recently, they were thought of as winners, and ETSU is thought of as losers. Still, though, when a Tri-Citian disses people for being Bucs fans, I can't help but think of the phrase the late pioneering sports talk show host Pete Franklin once said to a caller who revealed he'd bet against the home team. In this case, the Cleveland Browns. Yes, once upon a time, the Cleveland Browns were actually a team you might want to bet on. And Franklin, kind of a homer thing, but he goes to the collar, you sold out your town. In a lot of ways, I thought that is exactly what the guy who, wrote about why would you care about ETSU when UT is 100 miles down south. Now, I understand that it's not been easy to be an ETSU fan over the years, okay? Previous athletic administration of Dave Mullins, and for that matter, Paul Stanton, when they weren't hiring an alleged thief to coach tennis, they delighted in insulting our intelligence by telling us less is more. And there's always a feeling that the maximum ETSU can do is a conference title. We know that. Such is the life of a mid-major, especially one that's never won a national championship in any team sport. But if sports give an area identity, and I believe they do, whoever would have heard of Green Bay, Wisconsin if it weren't for the Packers, for instance? Would you have heard of Spokane? Let's just look at mid-major basketball. Would you have heard of Spokane if it weren't for Gonzaga? Really? So, if sports give an area identity, doesn't it make sense that seeing ETSU athletics grow would be hand in hand with seeing the area grow? It's more than symbolism. I've talked about it all the time. Let me ask you this. What would make the area more cosmopolitan than sports? And I talk about, if we build a new arena for ETSU, build it into a source. I know I'm a broken record, but big enough to have a hockey rink on it, this sort of thing, 10,000 people. You'd get better concerts, the concerts that used to come in. Bucks might be nationally ranked again. It would benefit everyone. You'd have the circuses in. You'd get religious services in. Freedom Hall's, their schedule is very light. Frankly, that structure is obsolete, and they've wasted millions of dollars trying to refurbish the place when they should have been putting that money. Actually, a lot of stuff they should have been putting instead of softball fields and, baseball parks and all this. They should have been putting that money into a new arena. That would have made the area more cosmopolitan. Now, by the way, I'm not here to tell you who to root for. I'm the first to admit blind loyalty can be counterproductive. ETSU's culture of everything is wonderful here even when it isn't, well, that's meant that Bucks fans have to settle for less while former rivals pass them by. Davidson, College of Charleston, Elon? Appalachian State. But doesn't interest in the area go hand in hand with interest in the home team? No matter where that area is. That's just the question I'd like to pose to you today on Tri-City Sports Now. Hey, like I said, it's a big show. I've got Mark Malone of Under. We carry him at 7 o'clock. Under Center with Mark Malone. I am giving away to someone who wants to talk sports with me. And I've got a topic up on the internet, too, of... is in Johnson City the Mini Dome that city's most prominent structure? Let's face it, in Bristol, BMS is, right? No question about that. Johnson City, I think unquestionably the Mini Dome is the most prominent structure, most famous, etc. And if you want to talk to me about it at 423-743-6124, I will take phone calls during the break. And the best phone call of the day will get this book, John McEnroe, but seriously. They'll have to pick it up here at the station, but nevertheless, we give away pretty good prizes as well. I'm even going to be giving away movie passes here, I think, soon. So anyway, Tri-City Sports Now is coming away. And we'll be back. I'm going to break down ETSU and Furman battle for first place men's basketball in the SoCon tonight. Tri-City Sports Now comes back after this.
It means trust. For over 60 years, Crabtree has been selling quality vehicles in the Tri-Cities. It means service with certified service technicians.